This video will be my last poker video ever. Until my next one. I know you're thinking, oh, Doug said he's leaving, and now he's come crawling right back to where he's from. Which is true. But I mean, who could have seen this coming? I mean, this was a curveball if I've ever seen one in my life. I thought I was done, guys. I thought I'd ridden off into the sunset. I imagined it looked something like this. A man can dream. But that ended up not being the case. And I know why you're here. We all know why you're here. We're here because there is some really interesting online World Series of Poker events happening that everyone's been following closely. You can just feel the excitement. Okay, that's not why you're here. You're here because you want to know what's going down with my heads-up challenge with Negreanu. Now, this event is truly looking to be spectacular. In fact, I really never thought I'd see the day that this actually happened. The cliff notes here are, we're going to play 2 tables online of 200, 400 no-limit hold'em for between 10 and 25,000 hands. The only part there I'm not 100% sure on is because Negreanu actually tweeted hold'em, not no-limit hold'em. But I'm going to go out on a limb and assume the man doesn't want to do some min betting. You really never do know, though. We should probably get that hammered out before the challenge starts. So how did we get here? What happened? It's kind of a long story. They come to your site to play and make you money.
It's actually better because pros aren't playing.
Daniel Negreanu busted for copyright infringement.
But fuck the pros.
Yeah.
Doug Polk makes baseless accusations with zero evidence.
It's the perks.
Oh, look at this. Look at this bit of antagonism from Doug Polk.
Business, Doug Polk's business, is attack people bigger than him.
But let's really hone in. What happened to get this thing going again? And it all started on June 30th when Nick Schulman tweeted the following. Remember when this animal came with the shirt power, dusted it off, and then retired? Love them both, obviously. At that point, D-Negs just couldn't resist himself, and he responded, he got spanked like a petulant child. I assume there was some hee-hees after that. It looked a little something like this. When I saw the comment, it was clear I had only 2 options. Option 1, handle the matter with dignity and grace, and walk away from an insult that was clearly coming from a sad, sad little man. Or, option 2, punch back. Sat there and I thought about it. I didn't think about it for very long. I tweeted, we've all made some questionable fashion choices in our time. I didn't realize he was patched up by GG Poker back then. Ahead of the times. But this is just an example of Negreanu trying to pretend he's the good guy that never brings up anything, and then mean bully Doug on the internet's coming after him. It's just not the case. It's not true. I mean, I hadn't made fun of Negreanu in literally month. I guess it was 5-ish weeks, but the point stands. Negreanu likes to make it out like, I'm using his name to make money on the internet, he. But the thing is, I'm not. I mean, I hadn't even made a video that featured Negreanu in 11 months. And if you look at the scope of all my work, my channel's done 100 million views or so. He's probably in the thumbnail of maybe a few million of them, maybe 4 million. But 96% of the work I've done is about other things. But that's not the narrative the man wants to sell. This all leads up to about a week ago, and I'm sure anyone that's had the internet over the course of the last week, which is all of you, knows about this incident, which is the infamous "I will feed you your teeth anally" rant. I want to show you exactly what he said, but it's a bit of a treacherous spot because he got banned from Twitch for that rant, and my last YouTube video got taken down, and that's why I have to post this video on a different channel. When this happened, frankly, I wasn't planning on getting involved at all, but my crafty editor and partner in crime, Thomas Keeling, had other ideas when he put together a truly fantastic piece of work, which if you want to see in a version that I hope doesn't get taken down off the internet, you could see over on his channel on YouTube. I'll put a link in the description below. Some people saw that video and said, this is just too mean. You can't be mean to people like this, and of all places, on the internet. But frankly, if you watch that video, it's just good comedy. Hours after the release of that video, as it was blowing up on YouTube, Negreanu punched back with an awkward tweet to a follower saying that there's precisely 0 chance he has 10 million, quit poker, crypto failure, stand-up career failure, reduced to clickbait videos to cover that rent money. Same old shit regurgitated for clicks. I'm essentially paying his rent. The man certainly got some good points. I mean, look at my crypto career. Total failure. I bought Bitcoin back in 2013 for a couple $100s. At some point, we're going to have to face facts. That's worth a lot less now. And then, of course, you have my failed stand-up career.
So I'm getting too fat lately.
Which I believe was the one time that me and Joe Ingram went to a stand-up open mic night, and I did a bit once that I wrote that day with Joey. So, you know, that's a failed career if I've ever seen one. And then, of course, quitting poker. Like, somehow that's reduced my income significantly. Actually, that's reduced my income significantly. There's simply no way around that. The thing is about this tweet that's just so funny to me is I haven't even made videos lately. And the one I did make, it didn't have ads on it. So essentially, I'm not being paid by YouTube at all. And if he's saying it's driving business to upswing, yeah. But the thing is, if you look at all of my work, I'm getting 40,000 views on my channel for the videos I've made in the past, and that drives traffic to Upswing anyway. Upswing's doing great. This isn't like I made a 1-minute video to make fun of Negreanu for money. It was just funny. Does that mean I've never leaned on personalities for viewership on the internet? No, of course not. I've done it all the time. I've done it with every big poker player. I've done it with myself. Look at this video. You wouldn't want to be that guy. The bottom line is, if you want to succeed in the online video making space, you're going to have to talk about the people that are in it. I mean, look at the work that I've done on YouTube. I've done almost exactly as many Phil Hellmuth videos as I've done Negreanu videos. I've done plenty of Tom Dwan videos. I've done plenty of videos about myself or Doyle Brunson or who else? Or Vanessa Selps. Oh wait, I already said that. The reason the Negreanu videos upset Negreanu so much is because it tells a narrative that he doesn't want being told, and it's a very popular one that people see. It's easy to ignore someone if they don't have any views. I mean, for example, does anyone know what Alec Torelli's been doing lately? I didn't think so. I've made videos about all these players, and in the majority of them, I'm not saying bad things about them at all. Maybe I'm teasing how badly they played a hand, or maybe the title and thumbnail is something to try and get people in the door, but there's really only a couple of people that I've actually gone after, and Negreanu is one of them. There's no doubt about it. When I was younger, Negreanu was one of my favorite players. In fact, he might have even been my favorite player. But the reality is, I didn't then not like him because I started making videos on the internet or whatever nonsense this tweet was from Negreanu. The reason is because he changed into someone that does not care about the players. He's also someone that belittles people quite frequently and then tries to get his way at whatever cost he can. What about the time Negreanu said that he could beat 2550 online in a couple of weeks, I think it was? Yeah, there's no way that that would happen, and it didn't because he couldn't do it, or he didn't want to, or whatever his excuse was. But that's extremely disrespectful to the people that work very hard to be good at what they do. Even in those days, 2550 was extremely difficult. Now, Lord knows how tough it is, but the point is he had no idea. He was just spouting off nonsense so he could be the center of attention when he was wrong.
No one's saying, oh, Negreanu couldn't win in live poker and like talking about what he plays in. He's talking about an environment that he's not familiar with. And so he's making claims on something that he's not familiar with.
Look at him. So young and awkward. Doesn't know that a career of online content will grind him down into not wanting to do it ever again. I wonder what Remco's doing these days. At this point, I had an idea. What if I challenged Negreanu to a high-stakes heads-up match? It's a win-win. If he says no, he looks scared and has to concede in some capacity, or he can ignore it, but it's not like he knows it didn't happen. It did. He's just pretending he doesn't notice, while everyone knows that he's just not doing it. Or he says yes, and we get to play heads-up poker for a lot of money. It's really the definition of a win-win. I'm a retired poker player. There's just no way around that. But what's weird when you're an active poker player, especially when you have a fan base, if someone challenges you, your fans kind of expect you to say yes. I saw a bunch of instances of this where people challenged me to various things, and frankly, my fans oftentimes would expect I would do it because you gotta defend your honor or something. So it's a bit strange because it shouldn't matter, right? And you shouldn't have to do it, but it kind of does. At this point, if someone challenged me, I'm fine saying no because I don't even play anymore. But if you're active, it does put you in a little bit of an awkward spot. So after getting a little momentum going on Twitter, I tweeted, I officially challenged D-Negs to a heads-up no-limit battle. I'm hoping to leave with both his money and my teeth still in my mouth. It's a reference that you guys will probably get, I think. I hate being anal about this, but I just can't show you this clip. Might get me banned. I'm just not willing to risk that.
I will your if you come step to me, and I will you.
Much to my surprise, after making a comment about this is like comparing Clyde Drexler to Michael Jordan, he accepted. Michael Jordan is going to play against Clyde Drexler, but he's an underdog. At least that's the story he's trying to tell. He took to his blog to explain why this is an underdog heartwarming story. You know, your classic Michael Jordan tale. Over this post, he does a bunch of classic Daniel Negreanu things, either misleading to try and make my point different or just outright lying. For example, he says that there's no possible interpretation you can come up with that credibly denies I'm the underdog going into this match. The cards are stacked against me, and I accept that reality. It's akin to Steph Curry challenging Shaquille O'Neal to a three-point shooting contest to decide who is the better basketball player. But that's not really what it is, because I did offer Negreanu we could play half a game of his choice, and then he said, no, let's just shoot three-pointers. Also, it just went from I'm Clyde Drexler to Steph Curry. Which one am I? What's the story here? Please be Steph Curry. I don't want to be Clyde Drexler. Also, if this was a three-point contest, let the record show. I'd hire Phil Hellmuth.
Oh my God.
Devastating.
This is the face of guy who just lost 10,000 to that guy.
He also said we should add a charity component, but Doug is anti-giving to those in need, which is ridiculous. Here's my big problem with charity and the way that it's used online. It's used as a way to say, I'm better than you because I'm giving money to people. You hear that? Way better than you. You hear that? Oh my God, so much better than you. I just don't think that that's cool. I think, frankly, if you want to help people, go for it. If you want to donate money to charity, go for it. But when you're using it as a way to try and make your name sound better or as a way to promote your match, I think that's bullshit. I also think many charities are horribly mismanaged. I don't really want to get down that road. But of course, I'm not anti-helping people. That would be a pretty weird stance. And finally, he says, I take offense when poker media calls this a back and forth. How disingenuous. I have never made a video targeting this man. I've barely referenced him in the last 4 years, while my name is on his lips constantly. Where is the evidence of a fourth in this case? There are plenty of examples of the fourth. Like, for example, what this person posted online with an image of all these different times that he's mentioned me over the years. The guy also always takes the side of anyone feuding with me, because he just can't help himself. When Luke Schwartz trolls me on the internet, oh, it's hilarious. When Alec Torelli hides chips, I don't think hiding chips is a big deal at all. Not surprising there, by the way. There's also been a couple other instances.
I've always been a big believer that if I'm going to use somebody's content, I reach out to them, just get permission. So a lot of people were thinking that I was responsible for getting GSN to pull videos. Well, I don't have a relationship with GSN.
I've had a good conversation with my brother. You know, he's been watching some of the videos, and brother's like, let me smash him. I'll break his fucking face in.
A video was released a while back that took a snippet. One small snippet was taken completely out of context. I am not pro-rake. That is absurd. My favorite part of like one of the videos that he recently did was he said this. He said, actions speak louder than words.
Doug's whole machine, his whole business model is to attack people to get clicks for his YouTube channel to transfer those into buy-ins for his his business.
All right, guys, this has been long enough. I've said my piece. But here's the deal. We're going to play a heads-up no-limit match. It's hard for me to imagine him winning. I've won at 10 big blinds per 100 over my entire career, mainly playing against the best people in the world. People like Sauce, people like Jungle, people like Harry Potter. It's a tough list of people that I've gone up against, and I've won over that sample pretty significantly. But here's the deal. I've not played actively in a couple of years, and of course he really wants it to be like, I'm a huge underdog, and that's probably fair, but I'm not exactly the sharpest my game's ever been right now. Really. Still, though, he does not have a lot of experience in this format, and while he can probably get a good amount better in a month or two, it's going to be hard to become a world-class player in order to win this challenge, which is what he's going to need to do in order to beat me. Frankly, the whole thing feels a little bit weird to me. Why would someone do this? Why would someone play at this high of stakes in a game that they seemingly have to be so much worse in? It doesn't really make a ton of sense to me. Oh well. That's going to be it for me, guys. I'll probably make some more content at some point. Maybe. Kind of oversaying what I'm going to do at this point because I can't seem to stick to it. But I'll definitely do something at Upswing for this. You guys want to check that out, links in the description below. And that's going to be it. You know, really, I just want to do my best. I think that I'm extremely likely to win. And frankly, I just want to point out that he had plenty of opportunities to make this a more fair format, but he wanted to be the underdog, and he's got it.